Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cataclysm of Hyrule campaign. I am the GM and creator of the campaign, Puck Finn. For everyone joining us tonight, welcome. Before we get started tonight, we're going to go over some announcements, a little bit of recap, some introduction, and we'll delve right into it. So the first thing that I'd like to talk about first is our Discord server. Our Discord server is where everything happens outside of gameplay. We have a number of channels on our Discord server a number of interactive channels on our Discord server. We have chat channels, art and meme channels. We have a voting channel going on right now. So I'm going to take a moment to stop and discuss that. So every other week we do a chat broadcast where we do a number of things. And last week, one of the things that we did was we talked about Rito Village and the Elder, and we went through our AI program and created a bunch of potential sprites for the Elder. We also built the Elder's throne room, which we will be unveiling next week at the conclusion of the vote. So the voting goes on for 2 weeks. In order to vote, all you need to do is react to any and all of the photos that you like, that you would like to see the Rito Elder as. If you vote with more than one reaction on a single picture, that will still only count as one vote. But if you want to vote for multiple entries, you absolutely can by simply reacting to whichever pictures you like. Again, that can be found in the voting channel of our Discord server. So if you are on there, go check it out. If you're not on there yet, the link to our Discord can be found on our link tree, which we have been spamming in chat. So if you click on that link, it'll take you to our link tree where we keep all of our links. We have the link to our Discord, to our Facebook group, to our YouTube channel, and a number of other links that I'm not going to go into fine detail right here and now with. But our Facebook group, we make posts and we do event reminders. So if you have a Facebook and you want to be reminded of when our next upcoming session is, you can get on that group and respond to the invites, to the event reminders, I'm sorry. So there's that. And also our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is where all of our campaign sessions are stored after broadcast. So by that, what I mean is the alternate weeks when we do our chat sessions are not stored anywhere. They're stored here on Twitch for about a week before they're taken down, but they're not stored indefinitely anywhere. Our chat sessions are just meant to be an in-the-moment thing, but our campaign sessions are kept on our YouTube channel. We have playlists that make certain areas of the campaign a little bit easier to navigate, such as the temple episodes and the one-shots. And tonight is episode 40 of the campaign. So we have been at this for a good minute now. Every episode usually runs between, on average, about 3.5 hours a piece. So yeah, with episode 40, we've been doing this, well over 100 hours at this point. So, we'll leave it at that. Definitely check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe when you're there, and yeah, that's our link tree. So, before we get into the introductions of our players, we're going to go over some quick recap. Last session was the session that concluded our portal battles. So what had essentially happened is our party got ambushed and were surrounded by a series of 8 portals that had spawns come out every 4 turns. I believe the battle itself lasted, I want to say 10 turns, give or take. So we had 2 rounds of spawning, and on the second round of spawning, we had a golden Lionel spawn, which I thought was particularly exciting. And in fact, the rolls for the spawns happened during our chat session 3 weeks ago. And we built the golden Lionel during our chat session, and then we fixed it last week. So, yeah, if you haven't checked out one of our chat sessions, absolutely, I recommend doing so. But regardless, we got our first taste of a golden Lionel. And I'll be very transparent in the fact that the golden Lionel is one of, if not the most difficult enemy of the campaign. And we got a quick taste of it before we ported out to Hyrule Castle Town, which is where we are currently. So, our last session ended with the party taking an audience with Zelda and Kato, and we got a little bit more insight as to how this the underlying meaning of this altercation, and the parting words of episode 39 was Kato suggesting to the party that it was not the corruption that ambushed the party, but it was someone who was using the corruption as bait to ambush the party. Yeah, so with that, let us go over to introductions. I'm honestly still having some technical issues, hence the no headset, hence I'm trying to keep as little stress on my computer as possible to give you as good of a broadcast as possible. So again, we will be running this session pretty much with cameras off, but that is not going to stop me from doing proper introductions. So, you know what? Let me cut these cameras so it looks a little neater. And where's the last camera? There it is. All right. Okay. So, first, all the way to our left, we have the freshly crowned fire sage, Gully. How you doing, Gully?
Still trying to come into his own as a newly cemented fire sage. Lots that he needs to learn, lots that he needs to try, and yeah. Looking forward to our next set of potential goals that we set.
Yes, as Gully's become the fire sage, he has been granted a number of beneficial abilities and spells, and taking the time to really settle into this new role is a wise course of action. So Gully is handling it very well. He really got to stretch your sage muscles in the 2 episode battle that we concluded. We got to see your sage aura ability, and really just let Gully come into his own in his new experiences. So, welcome. Always a pleasure to have you. And
Thank you.
we'll see where this episode leads us. Next, we have Deacon. How you doing, Deacon?
Hi, friends. Me doing okay. Especially doing okay now the golden line will not on screen anymore. Yes.
Yes, true.
Aside from this, disappointed that me could not kill the corruption at last opportunity that me had. Very disappointed. Sad even. Taking this out on Princess Zelda, of course, by telling her all of the information that we found out throughout yesterday? ? Time is now so skewed because of our weird long rest shenanigans that I can only imagine what day it is. Well, that's what sleeping in a backpack will do to you.
Yes. Well, Deacon has had a proper rest. I think the only person at this point who is not resting or rested is Gully.
Gully does in fact prove that sleep is for the weak, just by his sheer dint of constitution.
Yes. Yes, very, very true. But I do need to ask, specifically because, like, prior to this battle with the golden that involved the golden Lionel, Deacon was aware of a golden Lionel, but not from firsthand experience, but more so being able to see the aftermath of what a golden Lionel did to Kakariko Village in his original timeline. So, as Deacon has seen that aftermath, and he has now come face to face with the same type of creature that caused that, what are his thoughts on the matter?
He is what I would describe as perturbed that it still exists somewhere. Like, check 2 on his to-do list is like, go fix that problem. Just so that, like, Lon Lon Ranch doesn't get Kakariko'd.
That is a valid and fair concern. And, but just to circle back to something else that you did say about how the corruption got away and that was the last opportunity. Now, we know that that's not true. It is true that it was able to escape.
By last opportunity, I meant that I had 2 shots and I fucked them both up.
Okay, all right, because yeah, although true that the corruption has escaped, where he currently resides, as we know where he currently is residing, we know we're going to see him again, and the way that these enemies are stacking up. So you know, by that I mean the surviving characters being the corruption and Qyburn thus far. We know we're going to see them again, and we have a I would assume general idea of the capacity in which we are going to see them. This appears to be shaping up for something that is going to be way more personal than just taking out the bad guy in the end. So, it will be a very interesting thing when we see the corruption again. It will
on site, believe it.
It will be on site, and I am so looking forward to that. But yes, Deacon.
And of course, I say that's number 2 on my priority list, the Lionel, of course, because number 1 is always, and will forever be, it's Qyburn on site. Kick Qyburn's ass is priority number 1 at all times for the rest of his natural life.
Absolutely. The fact that he has been able to respawn means nothing more than the fact that you get to kill him again.
Exactly.
He has died 3 times. 3 times to my yes. He has died 3 times to my count, and now that we have knowingly destroyed his phylactery, there will be a 4th and final time.
Hell yeah.
So, Deacon, welcome. Always a pleasure as well.
Thanks.
And with that, we move to Lido. How you doing, Lido?
Greetings and salutations. I am doing quite well.
Wonderful.
As soon as I wake up for the day.
Fair. I can commiserate with that. Oof. Yeah. So, you did miss the very beginning of episode 39, but you were able to get into it before the battle concluded. So you did spend a little bit of time on that battlefield. And you, as a player, were fully aware of everything that happened. And understandably, Leto took it very hard. He had tracked this corruption. He had separated it from his sister. He has done a number of difficult and tremendous feats pertaining to things that originated in the water temple. But ultimately, like a bad 90s cartoon villain, he was able to sneak away at the very last moment. Now, I know this is weighing heavily on Leto's mind. It may be some time before you're able to come face to face with this corruption again. But how does Leto feel about it?
Leto's sleeping. That's all he feels right now.
Fair.
Just yeah.
So taking a rest was definitely a wise move, be it voluntarily or involuntarily on Leto's part, because if anybody had dealt with the most amount of sleep deprivation, it was Leto, as he had stayed awake for a number of hours trying to ambush this corruption. So now that things have subsided and Leto is taking that rest, it is the wisest course of action. Any thoughts you feel comfortable sharing about once you wake up?
Oh, I'm hoping they'll tell me, our group, all about the conversation with Zelda, so that way I can go back in and pick a fight with Zelda about my sister. That's what I wait for. I'll protect her. No, you're not. No, you're not. I can't.
Yes.
See. They tell me, though.
I did not mention that in the recap, but you are absolutely right. That is a conversation that had happened, that once Zelda realized that Princess Ruto was alive, that she became very insistent upon bringing her, or having you bring her to Hyrule Castle under the explanation of she would be safe and protected there.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't know that, so that's fine.
Right. So the party did an insight check, and it was a successful insight check. To so from like the viewer's perspective, I will point out that Zelda is being honest about that. Zelda does have some sort of vested interest in Princess Ruto's safety. We don't know what that vested interest is yet. And I will point out that usually when we deal with Zelda in this campaign, there generally is some sort of
half-truth, she tells us?
Half-truth, underlying intent, usually self-serving. So how does Princess Ruto play into all of that, and why was she so insistent? But we will...
It's a political thing. It's once she gets her, then she can go after the throne of the Zora, deciding who's going to be put in power. The actual princess who deserves to be, or some guy who they got off the street, i.e. ill.
So
You are so lucky that she's not here today.
I was just about to say that yes, unfortunately we do not have a fiend joining us tonight. So she cannot, ill being a fiend's biological brother, and ill being the current Zoran king, a fiend is not in a position to rebut this, but yes, there seems to be once again political turmoil brewing in Zora's domain. So, Leto, also a pleasure to have you tonight. Can't wait to see how this unfolds. And one of the things that I talk about often during our chat sessions is every once in a while we will come to a point in the campaign where I have no idea where we're heading. And I usually use this as an example to say, like, as more of like GM advice, to say that when you world build, that you kind of have to do it with loose hands as opposed to a tight grip, because plans will so often go awry. And right now, as we sit here in front of Zelda and Kato, it can go in so many directions that it is impossible for me to plan for. So it is going to be most likely a very ad-libbing improv episode. But before we get to that, Leto, great to have you. We are going to round out our introductions with the newest member of our party, Stuffin. How you doing, Stuffin? And Stuffin is on mute. Stuffin may have slipped away. Okay, so he did tell us at the time that he would have to step away for most
I'm here.
Oh, you're here?
I'm here.
Oh, wonderful. Stuffin, how you doing?
Good. I'm dealing with mic issues for some reason that I seem to have every time. It's good to hear and see all you.
Yes, a pleasure. So you survived the battle. Coming.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was gonna say, like, Stuffin, he grew up kind of like sitting in a tidal pool most of the time, just waiting for adventurers, mostly like schlubs, to come by, helping him out a little bit, and then all of a sudden he was transported to this new world, and it's like incredible to him. And I think you all are incredible to him, and like it's almost terrifying too. This ferocious evil that everyone is fighting. It's I think it's his first time to feel like he can really not just help out wannabe heroes, but actually be a hero along with you all.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That is awesome and heartwarming to hear. In the 2 episodes that you have been with us, Stuffin has been a very welcomed part of the group and already contributing wonderfully to the dynamic. And now that we have stepped away from the battle heavy portions of the past 2 episodes, we will presumably go into a fair amount of dialogue role playing and maybe get a deeper glimpse of the personality of Stuffin and how he interacts with the group. So, very smart battle tactics getting into that battle. As I said, Stuffin survived, as did everybody. And so, Stuffin, welcome. Look forward to seeing how this episode unfolds. So, let me... Really? Is that... Okay. So, I'm cutting my camera. Yeah. All right. So, just again to help with the stress on my computer. All right. So, once again, we find ourselves in the courtroom of, in Zelda's throne room. So I'm just kind of looking at the thing. And Kato has just unveiled to the party the possibility of an active or an evil presence that is growing in power and intent. So, who would be the first to comment on that?
Well, I believe I was the one who debriefed them, so I guess probably me, if that's okay with you guys. So I would like to I'd like to start off by asking him. So you see, Kato, you seem to have a bit more insight into these things than what I could say we've been able to uncover ourselves.
This is I would like to think that our resources are a bit better. But yes, there are things that we are aware of. Is there anything you would like to know that I could tell you? And please understand that for concern of safety of the kingdom, that there may be points of information that I cannot tell you.
Well, do you know who this evil is? I mean, are we talking, Ganon here? Or are we talking something unknown?
It is presumed to be Ganon.
Okay. So, I mean, these portals that seem to be coming about, they seem to be coming out faster and stronger with every incarnation, every passing week. Is there anything, like how long has this been going on? And, how long do you think we have until this reaches a head?
Well, as of right now, there doesn't seem to be any particular rhyme or reason. We do have people. We do have the smartest minds of the kingdom drawing up, theories on the matter. But from what I have personally witnessed, is there the best way that I could possibly explain it is there seems to be a finite pool of energy that generates these portals, and the portals themselves. There are times when they are coming in like steady, regular intervals. One portal here, two portals here. But if there is ever a situation where a massive amount of, or an abnormally large amount of portals are generated, that whatever or whomever is generating these portals seems to suffer a sort of power depreciation. And if it, so as you were explaining, where 8 portals happen to just, appear simultaneously, nothing like that has happened thus far. I think the most that we have had so far was 4 portals that we've taken out at once, and after that there seemed to be a larger stretch of periods where there simply were no portals. So tapping summoning 8 portals at once would tap a massive amount of power, and I do think that based on prior instances, we have a bit of time before we might see another portal come up. And I don't believe that we will simply see one of this magnitude. I think that the way that you were explaining this, it sounds like a planned, calculated encounter. Bit of a maybe not so much last ditch effort, to take a shot at you guys, but enough that you are definitely on someone's radar right now. So
Understood.
yeah. I mean, in terms of time, it's a hard thing to say, but the immediate future, I believe that things are going to be relatively quiet.
Good to know. Good to know. You I'm really sorry. I have to make a phone call real quick.
Okay.
I will be right back.
Yeah, I got you. And he's like, so you know, I think it goes without saying that you guys have endured a particularly abnormal encounter. Is there anything that sticks out that you feel you could share with us, or is there anything that we could possibly share with you?
Well, hey, I'm just curious. Some portals, are they still open, you think? Like, we go back and come out?
I believe that they're still open right now, and in fact, as soon as we finish this out, I will be sending out a fairly large regiment to deal with this portal. So one of the things about one of the continuing themes that have been going on in Hyrule Castletown right now is that since the portals have been appearing, specifically the Hylian armory has really gone into full production mode, and if it hasn't been outwardly stated, this is why. The crown has been ready to, like, once they've been happening, the crown's been dealing with these portals on a smaller scale, again, anywhere between like 1 to 4 portals a piece, and they feel fairly capable in dealing with a lot of these things. So they do have a fair amount of knowledge based on these small encounters. But yeah. 8 portals, again, whole different beast right here. So Kato tells you that he will be sending out a very large regimen to close these portals. And he rests assured that that you will not need to worry, and that the portals are being dealt with in a capable manner.
As well, I get the sense that there's some trickery going on here, and I don't want your men falling into traps, and women and other folk too. Like someone's got our number.
I believe that is an absolutely accurate statement. But unfortunately, if there is a risk to the kingdom or the risk to my soldiers are much better equipped than any average part of town. It's better we meet them in the open field than wait for them to attack a village or a town or here. Is there anything that I could tell them before I send out the regimen? And any particular, maybe special piece of equipment or anything like that, do you think would aid them in such an encounter? Being that you know what they are, not only that they're walking into 8 portals, but specifically what has come out of those portals. And no is a perfectly fine answer.
I don't know. What do y'all think? Oh, Lido.
Lido is asleep.
I mean, we've kind of told you everything we know. There's not really much else to tell.
All right then. Since I would prefer to take care of this sooner than later, I am going to excuse myself and get together a regimen. So Cato departs, and you are now in the throne room with just Zelda.
My queen, if I may ask, being that you were a sage at once, did you ever have a connection with the other temples? A way of locating them? Just curious.
There is a way. There is a plane in which the other sages and I could meet and communicate, but in terms of location, not so much. We have general knowledge of the area of each of the sage temples, but the exact location is meant to be kept secret for safety's sake. And she goes, can you approach?
Absolutely.
Okay. You still have the fire medallion on you, right?
Always, yeah.
Okay. Where is it?
I would say he probably has it underneath his clothing on like a little necklace or chain, something that he's created for it.
Okay. So she asked you, Gully, could you please present your fire medallion?
Yeah, and he'll reach inside and pull it out, and then lift it up over his head. Yeah, here you are.
All right. As her hand makes contact with the medallion, and you are both simultaneously making physical contact with the medallion, you suddenly find yourself in what appears to be some type of chamber. You are standing on a platform that beneath you has the same symbol on your medallion, and Zelda is standing. You don't. Okay, let me rephrase it. You don't see her, but you feel her presence and you hear her. She explains to you. She says, "This is the Chamber of Sages. While in this chamber, you are able to openly communicate with other sages. But as per the location of where they might be, that remains secret."
Okay.
So you do see around you the other platforms, and most of the other platforms, except for the one you're on and the water temple one, you see kind of it has like a purple swirling steam mist that you're kind of like getting the impression that these are all corrupted temples.
Okay.
So, currently you are the only person in this sage room. Is there anything that you would like to do while you are here?
So, Queen, general knowledge of these temples. Well, I first before I said, so general knowledge. Does everyone have general knowledge, or is it just more so the sages themselves have general knowledge, just not specific location knowledge?
I'm sorry, the microphone's coming up a little broken on my end. Say that again.
Okay. So is it general knowledge for everyone of where the temples are? Or is it more or less that there's general knowledge that the sages know where the other temples are, just not the specific locations?
Okay, so they're, I guess, in like varying effects. Like the general populace would, through maybe like stories and lore, have knowledge of what the general region of each of the temples.
Okay.
But
And locals might know specifically.
yeah, so the locals
Okay.
would probably have a better knowledge, and if you find a specific sage themselves, they could, if they chose to, divulge the exact location to you.
Okay. While I'm in here, how many platforms am I seeing total?
I forget if it's 6 or 7.
Okay, so roughly however many there are, for shadow, water, blah blah blah. I see that many platforms.
Yeah. Okay. So there's 6.
Okay.
There's 6 platforms. Yeah.
Okay, 6. Okay.
And so as you're in there, you also know that you feel that there is some sort of connection to the other sages in the respect that in this chamber, if you were to try to reach out to a sage, that they would know you were trying to reach out to them.
Okay. And I get a sense that just basically I can come into this chamber anytime by engaging with my medallion.
Once per day, but
Okay.
since this is since this is instigated by Zelda, this does not count as your once per day. Like this is her teaching you how to do it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, so she kind of like, explains these things and says that you can communicate with the sages, you can reach out to the sages. If you were to reach out to a sage, it would be a two-way street, and by that what I mean is they could refuse communication, but if you were to reach out and they were to acknowledge or concede to communication, that they would be connected to you for that period of time, and you would also be connected to them for that period of time. Zelda also explains that this generally happens on a one-on-one basis, but in times of in more intense times, the sages have had the ability to gather as a collective whole in this chamber, but it is a very difficult and taxing thing to do.
Okay. Okay.
So, do you come back? Or is there anything you want to do while you're there?
So, my queen, seeing as how all of these are corrupted, do you propose that I take my compatriots to help resolve this corruption? What are your thoughts? There's so many things that need focus right now within the realm. And any guidance you have would be greatly appreciated.
Well, the majority of the temples are still corrupted and need to be cleansed. I understand that. In one respect, I feel that the party has a bit of fracturing within them because there are many personal agendas tearing people in many different directions. So my personal feeling on the matter is that in one respect, the temples and the corruptions do need to be dealt with. However, if personal tasks do need to be resolved, then for the party as a whole, it is best to give the undivided attention to the task. As much as I would like these temples to be cleansed as quickly as possible, I do understand that there are other things going on in the kingdom.
Well, thank you very much for your words of wisdom and speaking very candidly.
Give me an insight check.
Or maybe she's not being so candid. Insight, where are you? The friendly insight. There we go.
16. Okay. She is being honest in what she says, but she is also kind of you can tell that, like, behind her words, that she's also noting that there are things that would benefit her if they were done that don't necessarily involve the sages and the temples. So she's, in one hand, she's saying, do the things that you need to do on the side, but she's also kind of hoping that as you do those things on the side, they will be also things that mutually benefit her.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay. So you feel a slight whooshing sensation as you find yourself back in the, I almost called it throne room, the Hylian throne room. And from the party's perspective, again, no time has passed. You simply saw Gully presenting the medallion, Zelda putting her hands on the medallion, and then Zelda taking her hands off of the medallion, and Gully just kind of like visibly almost like that motion that somebody makes when they kind of like slip on nothing. like his body just kind of like as he comes back, he just momentarily takes that like split second to catch his footing, and but that's all like that you see. You just see him like recatching his footing and just kind of like regaining his composure.
All right, so where to, everyone? Again, thank you very much, my queen.
Thank you as well for everything. So, yeah. So right now we have on mic we have what's that?
Gully, looks to me like, I don't know, Zelda was in your head or something. Like, you probably know more than I do about where to go next.
Well, we should probably discuss as a group, where we focus our attention next. I know.
We can go get more food. That food was really, really good.
Yeah. I thought I had a big appetite. We just ate, but okay, works for me.
Or Lido. Maybe we get Lido.
Yeah, he's probably going to be out for a while. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea if I actually went to sleep too. Now that I think about it.
I could sleep.
No, it's not late, but I haven't been to sleep yet either.
We go to sleep. I'm so tired already. Like, it's, oh my gosh, all bashed and bruised and charred and whatnot. Like, I'm just gonna curl up with one of those sandwiches in my lap and just have these sweet, sweet dreams.
Oh yeah, wow, yeah, my hit points are super low. Yeah, stick around. Yeah, let's you know what? If you don't mind, because I have some things that, well, especially after my recent conversation with the Queen, that's been weighing kind of heavy on me. Let me get some rest as well, and let's regroup.
Sounds good. Yeah.
And, if you and Deacon and Fiend, if you guys are okay with that.
So, do you all sleep in ponds like Lido does?
Oh no. We leave the pond, sleep in Toledo.
That's a nice place to sleep. I sleep in ponds a lot.
I like beds.
Oh, okay. Do that too.
But hey, to each his own. I have no problem with hey, however you want to sleep. That's if it's comforting, you like it, do you?
Mushroom patch. Is there a mushroom patch in town I can sleep in?
Maybe not in town. Maybe around town. If Lido wasn't knocked out, he could probably make you a mushroom patch as well.
Yeah, I'll follow Gully back to the inn.
Are you going to the inn or are you going to Cito's?
So we actually sleep at Cito's, where Lido is.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
I'll follow you back to.
Okay, so back to Cito's. All right, so maybe that's what we can do next week. I can make Cito's. Sorry. All right, so party goes.
Oh,
okay. Real quick, was there anything that you wanted to do about Zelda before going back to Cito's?
Yes, I'm sorry. I've actually been here. I've just been muted. I forgot I was muted, so I've been talking for like 5 minutes. The previous 10 minutes I was listening, but I ate something really spicy, so I was crying and I couldn't talk. And literally, like, I've had 15 minutes worth of just like tears streaming down my face, like just chugging milk, chugging water, eating ice. Anyway, so that's what Deacon did. Like you saw him pull out like super extra spicy seaweed snack, and he ate it, and then he just started crying because it was too spicy.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Okay, so you heard the whole thing about the sage chamber?
Yeah, I
Okay.
heard all that.
All right, just want to make sure.
I missed everything before that, but I don't know what that was. So, I don't know if that was too much, that was big. I had to make a phone call because I forgot my fucking Slurpees, and I have no means to get them now. I'm very upset about that.
That's like
Anyway,
the best part.
Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, before the sage chamber,
What I was looking forward to the most.
yeah. So what had happened was we spoke with Kato and we got a little bit more information, and Kato departed from the throne room to gather a regiment to deal with an 8 portal-sized threat.
Ah, understood. Okay. Well, I guess that precludes any questions I was going to ask him. That I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not trying to be petty. I'm sorry. What I mean to say is,
Do you want to retcon that a little bit?
Honestly, no. Full disclosure, I was just going to ask him about Bradford because we talked about that last time.
Okay.
I talked to Kato, and he seemed interested, but he's busy now. And he's busy with something far more important, so I'm not going to stop him.
Okay.
Or waste his time.
Well, okay. So just for like to put it in context, like he will not be joining the regiment. He is simply gathering and sending out the regiment.
I see.
So we're about midday, but after the battle, everyone's like sleep schedule is just, horrible. So some people, I guess we will, okay. So here's how here's how we're going to get to that like resting point. The people who need to sleep can go down for what we will consider an extended long rest to recoup not only the 8 hours that were missed, but just the overall, I want to use the word exhaustion, but not mechanical exhaustion. The overall tiredness of everything that's happened. But we will also, for those that are not in dire need of sleep, we can figure out stuff, some things that we want to do to fill the time before we approach the period of long rest, or we can figure out a bunch of short rest activities before the long rest. But we are looking at going down for a premature extended long rest within a reasonable amount of hours.
Okay. Could I don't want to be selfish, but do I have time to do a couple things before the long rest? Because I still have like a bunch of spell slots that left and stuff that I kind of wanted to play with.
Absolutely. You fall into the realm of into the classification of characters who is not in need of the long rest, so you can do a number of things. But we'll kind of like, so we're about mid-afternoon, so let's say that everyone that needs to have that long rest has to go down in between like 1 to 3 hours. So right now, let's factor in that 1 to 3 hours by starting off by heading to Cito's. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
So in the walk back to Cito's, Gully will have a little chat with the party.
Nice. So, how's it like being a sage, Gully? How are you liking it so far?
It is very different. I'm realizing that I seem to operate outside of time quite often now, and you guys don't really get a chance to experience all of that with me. But I try to fit you in as best I can. That's really weird for me, though. I got to get used to that.
Ooh, that does sound kind of strange. But I appreciate you keeping us posted, Gully.
Yeah. And, another thing is, Alan, this has been kind of weighing heavy on me. Connections are, good and great. And, I've been wanting to find, my wife, Beatrice, but, if I really think about it, like, the Beatrice here, she's not actually my wife. I kind of consider myself, I guess, to be, essentially, Gully Prime, since I'm the dominant, we are the dominant, we are our dominant consciousness. If that makes sense.
I guess
so.
I like that.
We're not really in our own time, so. The
You came
Beatrice
from
here,
a different world.
essentially, yeah.
Yeah, we all
I-
kind of came from different places.
Oh, you all did?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you all much, much bigger than you used to be?
I grew a whole 3 inches of this. I'm very. It's very proud.
Oh, I actually, you know what? I think I have grown a few
Hell yeah.
since we started. So yeah.
But Deacon's he's gonna look up at you. He's gonna say, I get what you're saying, Gully, definitely. But
You know,
I
I'm in
think-
love with someone that like really doesn't exist here. Like, it's not my wife. Like, yes, he looks the same, but would she really? I mean, we don't share anything anymore. Like, I mean, and I'd be in love with a ghost. I'd be like trying to fall in love with someone that's like not really my wife. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'd like to find this person and meet them, but what if they already have another family? What if you know this version of Beatrice doesn't think I'm attractive?
Did you ever try to use magic to find her again?
We've tried, and we haven't quite like locked in on where she is. But you know, Leto tried. You know, he was able to see her, but I don't know. I'm kind of having doubts now.
well,
It's not the clarity I thought that I would come to with becoming a sage, but just I don't know.
Hey, man, I just think like you find someone that you love and cherish her, and even if you're not with her, you cherish her. But damn it, if she's out there, you gotta go try to find her somehow.
I know, but like I wouldn't be finding my Beatrice. I'd just be finding a copy, a doppelganger, another version of her.
No. You don't want to find. You want to find your Beatrice. Like, there's
Right.
gotta be a way, right? There's portals
don't
with
know.
other people.
We'll have a lot
Why
of
can't we
things
find a
that
portal?
we
Dangerous for her. I don't know.
want to accomplish and we're focused on. And personally, I think this is something that definitely shouldn't take precedence over any of the other things that we want to do. Definitely not over what Leto's is trying to focus on with taking out that shadow. Definitely not with what Ifine is focused on. So I say all that to say this absolutely is not a top priority. So whatever the party decides we want to focus on, that is something that is way back on the back burner.
I definitely understand what you're saying, Gully. And it's well, I'm by no means do I wish to, you know, I think you still have a chance. Like, I wouldn't give up all hope just yet. I mean,
I'm not
I
giving
know
up all hope. It's just
right.
there are more important things. I again,
enough.
as a sage, I need to focus on clearing out these other temples. Like
That's true.
I did go into the chamber with the queen, and just looking around and seeing all these platforms of just corruption. Like, ugh, we've got to that can't stand. All these lands without their sage. That needs to be rectified.
I understand. Okay, Gully.
Golly,
Just know that
I-
whatever you do decide is your top priority, I'm here for you. Just let me know.
All right.
golly, yes, you just need something, and I think you know what you need, and it's this, and Duffin goes up and gives Gully a big hug, like hugging your leg basically because he's short.
Nice.
Deacon, bring it in here.
I've joined
Join
in.
us.
I hug the other leg because I am also very short.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Like, just thank you.
Man, I wish the others were here, but
You see like a little flame tear drop and hit the ground.
Damn, that's cool.
Actually,
I see
no,
that in character,
no,
too.
it's not flame. It actually, the little tear hits the ground and it sizzles like steam.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, I'm like,
Deacon. Is there anything that you lost or you're missing? It looks like it's sharing time here.
well, to be honest, I used to have a lot of other friends, and it seems like they kind of met different fates since this new world. Like we saw what happened to Romeo, and Deacon just kind of shudders. And then there was I guess I'd like to meet Rico, but really, I think what I'd like, if I had to pick something to work towards, for my own stuff, I guess I hadn't thought about it too much, but he kind of like scratches the back of his head. He's like, well, I want to make sure Ken and Gabe are safe. That's kind of a priority I have. I got them into what seems like is becoming a mess, and if I let them get hurt on the job, then I feel kind of responsible for that. So, I guess there's that. Outside of that, maybe I feel like I have unfinished business with the Yiga. The Yiga kind of are responsible for a lot that's happened to me. And you see him kind of like take out his little tiny Yiga blade that he's had for like 5 years now.
Forever.
Literally from like the 3rd session I've had
Yeah.
this thing.
It's an heirloom at this point.
It really is. Yeah. So I guess I'd like to see what's going on there. I don't know if it's the same Yiga that I remember. Maybe they're more or less evil. I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I guess I still have some closure to get there. Plus, there's the Forest Temple. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't really have a big priority, to be honest. I just have like little things I'm curious about. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he kind of sighs. He's like, everything that I really knew is kind of gone, and that was really sealed when Romeo turned out to be what he turned into. So I guess I don't have much left.
Oh, seems to me like you got lots of friends, or at least lots of words I didn't recognize that sounded like they might be names, but
Sorry. I guess what I should say is, right now, I think I want to support you guys, and I think I think really that's what my top priority is. Like, I wanna see what we can make together. Everything. He looks thoughtful, and he goes, I guess that is what it comes down to. So all that stuff's kind of in the past now, and I really just want to make the most of the future I can make with you guys, So, we could go hunt down the Yiga or hunt down the temples. I mean, that's all good with me. But, I just, as long as we're doing it together, I think I'm happy to do anything. For me, I think Romeo was kind of the last bit of closure that I needed. The new stuff, Bongo Bongo and Kakariko, like, that's all something, but, I don't know. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling.
that's okay. Every plant needs to fuck it out every so often.
Thank you. Did you guys have anything you wanted to do before we, got to sleeping? Because I kind of wanted to go visit Ken and Gabe and, see what's going on in the workshop. I had some ideas I wanted to ask him. Plus,
You guys all have shops in town here?
so Lito owns, Cito's. Deacons is kind of I was more an investor than an owner, I think. I wanted Ken was a good friend of mine from like a long time ago, and I, you know, we struck up a conversation, and I had some things from back in my world that were worth a lot more here than they were back there. So I gave them to him to kind of like open up a new store, and he got his son working it, and it's pretty good. He like beams proudly, and he like pats Gully's armor, with like the gold trim and everything.
Yeah, this armor is all thanks to Deacon here.
Sorry, not trying to flex that, but I just mean it was Gabe's work, and it was yeah. So what I mean to say is just that like we he's been really good to me. I pat my own armor too, which is mithril Hylian armor, and as a little, I hold up my my ruby dust family crest of like Ken's like logo, and I say I got this special to make a cage as strong as his armor. He grins. Out of game to explain that. It's coated with ruby dust in a specific logo to allow me to cast Force Cage.
Okay.
And anyway, he's been having some trouble lately with all the demands that have been placed on him. This Ken figure, I mean, to the point where he was on a whole bunch of stimulants that I had to talk him off of. And anyway, I'd like to check on him before we leave, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine. Hey, you know what? Hey, I will let you guys go ahead and do what you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and crash.
All right. Hey, I hope you have a good rest, Gully. We'll be here when you get back.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, you know where we'll be at Cito's, so hopefully you come back there, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll be back there in a few hours.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Bye.
See you soon,
Fiend,
man.
are you coming with me? Or you going with him?
Athene looks very
She's
tired and just starts following you.
All right.
It's like
Fiend,
already
let's
asleep
head
on your
Cito's.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Yep. I've already got her.
All right. So, just to narrate that, so as Gully and Athene go to Cito's, they can see that that Leto is just like down for the count in his sleeping pond. It's a fairly slow business day. So you can see that. Oh, geez, what was Chloe?
Chloe and Isaac.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep forgetting her name. Chloe's just kind of like sweeping up and tidying up the shop, and Isaac is working on some type of elixir. Is there anything you guys want to say, inspect, check out before you go? Well, before Gully goes down for the count.
I have something I want to do, but
But
Deacon wanna go first?
you're with Deacon, right?
well, I'm going to go my own separate way.
Oh, okay. All right. So Gully, anything that you want to do before you before you turn down?
No. I think he's good.
All right, sounds good. All right, so now we have Athene, Leto, and Gully long resting, and Stefan, you say you want to go your own way. Where are you heading?
So Stuffin, he's flush with cash right now, right? I don't think we need to go into like excruciating detail on this, but he wants to go buy a shop and set up his own. He's set up his own storefront.
Okay. All right. So, have you expressed this to anybody?
Have not. No.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
think he's gonna just wander around and either look for like an abandoned or like some sort of business that looks like it's doing dismally and be like, "Hey, can I buy your store?"
all right. Let me take everyone over to the map of Hyrule Castletown, and we'll go from there. Castletown, and all right.
And I have no idea how much a store costs, so might need to rent.
All right. So, right where I'm pinging is where we have Cedos. The next ping here is Deacon's Armory. That's the one Deacon was telling you about. Over here is where we have the inn. And much of the other places really have not been established in this campaign. So, what type of business? And we'll kind of like, I'll gear you to like from there. What kind of business is Stuffin interested in?
Stuffin is a jeweler. Like he used to sit around and make like, I don't know, carved rupees or whatever, or into the right shape. So he wants to start a jewelry business.
That is very interesting you said that, because we have
Reginald.
there is a building right here that in the past has been utilized for a jewelry store. The proprietor of said jewelry store has not been seen since the start of the Cataclysm campaign. But it just so happens that it is a vacant shop. But that entire corner has generally been regarded as like a jewelry district where you can find where you go if you were looking for like fine stones or any type of like regular metal jewelry like steel rings and things like that. And there's often a high-end jewelry place, which is with the vacant shop that I'm pinging you. It was originally known as the Royal Treasury, no affiliation.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. He just needs to find someone who's willing to sell it to him.
Okay, so if there is...
Bradford's your man.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to like work this in. So the way that businesses are established specifically in Hyrule Castletown is there is a clerk's office inside the inside of Hyrule Castle that is run by a clerk known as Bradford. He is in charge of taking in loan paperwork, establishing who is in charge of like what buildings and basically anything that has to do with any type of commerce in town. Bradford is the person to see.
Well, so he's the one we need to talk to buy this or rent it.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Because I don't think Stuffin is overly interested in paperwork. He wants to hire someone to do that. For now, and it's probably going to be losing money, but he's got cash, so why not? Yeah, that's fine. Let's go to see Bradford.
Okay, Deacon, give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Because I know that you have interest in seeing Bradford. I know that you know where Bradford's office is, and I know that you would also notice the movement of Stuffin, and it would pique your interest. That is good. It is not a sleight of hand check. But Stuffin, like as you start to make your way towards.
No. Okay, wait. Would I get advantage because of my boots of the Korra kind? Because if not, I actually have to run in a random direction my entire movement speed.
Is there something that would give you advantage?
The fact that I'm moving completely silently. That's it. So if it's okay if not, but if not, I'm running like right past like it's like he sees me run like directly out of the building and just like accidentally slam into a wall like 10 feet behind him.
You know what? Okay, so north, east, south, west. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a D4. Okay. Stuffin, you hear a commotion as Deacon slips on a banana peel and goes careening in a southern direction until he smashes into a water barrel outside of Cito's and just goes like head over feet into the barrel.
Can I be making a comedic "whoa" sound the entire time?
Yes, absolutely. And you get the impression that you know. Give me a perception. Stuffin, perception check.
Oh. Okay. I zoomed out so much I can't see this.
You rolled an 11.
Okay.
So you see this, but you would not understand. Like, you would not grasp that he was trying to follow you stealthily, but you do notice the commotion nonetheless.
Can I go up to him and like pull him out of the water?
Absolutely.
And oh, Deacon, it looks like you're growing. Good job.
Yay! Thank you. And you just see like water like just like drip out of the snout. Sorry.
Yeah. It's good to see you here. What you doing? I'm looking for someone to buy a shop from. So I don't know. Maybe you can help me out here.
Oh, sure. You're probably looking for Bradford. Yeah, I can take you to him. He's actually on the way to Ken's.
Ah, okay, good.
Here, yeah.
What?
Oh, sorry. What?
You want to ride on my shoulders like you did with Lido? It's gonna be hard though. I'm not as strong.
That does sound fun. Can I ask your strength score?
if you need to ask. It's an 8.
Okay, so Deku himself is like 40 pounds. His equipment is like 500. No, that's a joke. Yeah, but Deku himself is probably only like 40 pounds. So, yeah, I mean, he's like, he's only like 3 feet tall. And he's like mostly leaves by volume.
I can carry you. I can carry 120 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not carrying a lot of equipment. So
Fair.
maybe we're like awkwardly flying low to the ground.
Yeah, perfect. I'm making comedic wee noises. Okay. So yeah, I say one of my plans for the day is I have to buy like a saddle type of thing that I can use to ride on people's shoulders and continue to give them like my mounted immunity.
Okay. Oh man, what is turning into?
You did agree to that when I took the feat.
I did, and I always know that it's going to be more than I anticipate, and that I'm going to be surprised. But yes, valid nonetheless.
Thank you. So yeah, aside from making like, I don't know if I've ever explained this. I'm sorry. Stuffin. So Deku is like a small Deku child. Like he's like 9 years old at this point.
Oh, I didn't realize you were that young. Although,
Yeah, no, he's like very young.
Okay.
So that's why I describe him as like, he can't read, he draws with crayons, stuff like that. Like he's very young. I decided to do that because I got 4 on intelligence and I couldn't think of anything else that was compelling. So yeah. Anyway, he stands proudly atop your shoulders and dramatically points in the direction that you're supposed to go as his form of direction. Yeah. So, I imagine you guys are going at like 10 feet a turn, and he's like still trying to do the Gurren Lagann pose on top of you. Meanwhile, like the giant chicken is walking faster than both of you. Anyway, eventually, when you get to the gates, he thanks you for the ride, Stuffin, and he asks if he can do you one in turn, by hopping atop of his majestic mount, Chimkin.
Sure. Yeah.
Nice. Chimkin, basically like she ducks her head down, and like just sits so you can like climb on top of her. She's got like chainmail barding, so she's easy to climb onto if you can get your footing pretty easily. It's a small race.
I can fly right up there.
I forgot. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I forgot about that. Fair. Valid. But yeah. She is very soft and comfortable because while she does most of Dekun's walking, she is very soft, fluffy. Dekun eventually like he climbs up next to you, and puts you guys both take the saddle, and you I guess at this point we'd probably be at the guards to the castle as we try to go back in there.
Mm-hmm.
They let us pass and stuff, or
yeah. They acknowledge you and do not stop you for any reason.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, let's for your sake, let's go to Bradford first, and then we'll go to Ken's afterwards, so that you don't have to wait, because I want to see what Bradford has to say too.
All right. You said we're going to Ken's first, or I'm sorry,
Bradford first.
Okay. So, so you walk into Bradford's office, and excuse me, the absolute sheer mess that you witness is nothing new for Deacon, but for Stuffin, I will describe like it's a relatively small office, but it is like packed to the hilt with just like stacks of paper. As you come into the office, you can hear something or somebody rummaging around in this like massive maze of just stacks of paper. And then somebody emerges, and Deacon, would you like to explain what Bradford looks like?
Oh man. Honestly, God, I wouldn't know at this point, man. Shit.
He really has not deteriorated that much.
Okay. God, I guess I don't remember the exact physical description.
I get. You want me to take it?
Yeah, you go for it. Sorry, dude.
Okay, no, you're good. So from the depths of the paper, there appears to be a shadowy silhouette of a Hylian male, and as they step forward from the shadows, you see the decomposing body of an undead male. I'm trying to remember what he is like largely still put together. He's not really missing any limbs at this point, but his skin is looking a little bit loose. His face is looking a little bit gaunt. I would say you may or may not get the first impression that there's just like an undead appearing out of nowhere and approaching you guys. So as you possibly get ready to take some sort of action against this thing, in a bright, cheery voice, you hear him go, "Deacon, my friend, long time no see."
Hi, Bradford. Good to see you. Oh, man. I'm sorry that resurrection didn't take, but I'm glad you're doing okay. You seem to be relatively hanging in there.
I'm living my best on life.
Nice. I'm glad you've gotten used to it. I imagine it makes slinking around in the paperwork a little bit messier, but, I mean, well, maybe I could teach you prestidigitation sometime. Clean up any unnecessary goo that might be happening.
There's not a whole lot of goo, and
Nice.
it's a good system. Please. I mean, I know that.
That's true.
You know, so it might not look like a good system to a lot of people, but it's I got it pretty good. Yeah.
Nice. Good to hear it, Bradford. It does seem convenient not having to eat or poop. Sometimes I wish that for myself.
Yeah. That I mean, you know, looking back on it, I'm like, what was I doing? You know, like eating, pooping, like it's just a waste of time.
A cycle. It really is.
Exactly. And he kind of like cracks his knuckles, and the cracking that you hear is a little bit disconcerting, because it sounds like more than his knuckles crack when he does it. But he's like, "So, what brings you by?" He goes, wait, I know. You're here to make a payment on your buddy Lito's behalf.
Oh, I guess I probably should. How much is he in for?
Oh. And he's looking. And he goes, "You know what? I can't find that paper right now." He goes, what do you say? Let's call it a 25 rupee good faith deposit.
Sure, done.
All right.
I hand him 25 rupees.
Sounds good. All right. That's takes you off the radar.
Nice. Good to hear it. So, as it turns out, I have a new friend who is also interested in picking out some property.
Oh, wonderful. Who's your friend?
This is Stuffin.
Hey
He's
there.
not on the battlefield.
Good friends are forged on the battlefield.
Fine fellow is a mighty strong fighter. I'll tell you that much. Hey, I'm Stuffin, a local fairy traveling here for the first time, and I'm a jeweler, and so I saw that empty shop, a treasury, something, and just thought, hey, that looks perfect as a place for me to, start my business.
That sounds like a good thing. I mean, vacant businesses don't make any money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And he goes, well, so what are you looking at? Buy the building, rent the building? What are you looking at?
I'll love to buy the building. What's it cost me?
Oh, buying the building, that's in the good part of the business. And then he starts like rummaging through and he goes, the last inhabitant of this building. Well, no, we're not going to talk about that, but it was bought back. The bank bought it back for $40,000. But I mean, most people don't have $40,000 sitting around. So, would you like to check out some loan paperwork?
You're telling me this place is like got bad juju, like the previous person disappeared and died or something like that?
I don't think he died. I think he just kind of like disappeared, and the paperwork here says that he simply defaulted, and the bank took it back.
Yeah, I can't afford. What is it? K?
40.
40K? What's a K?
A K is
K. He pulled out a rupee.
K is 1,000, but that's to buy outright. Most people don't want to buy these things outright. That's way too much of like a potential money pit. It's highly encouraged to take out a loan.
Okay. Loan, renter. I'll do a loan.
Yes, Deacon?
Can I like use my bonus action to use my aberrant mind sorcerer level to form a telepathic connection with Stuffin?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to say the bank is a very scary entity. You're gonna want to make sure you got the income to pay this, my dude.
Looks back and forth.
I might suggest waiting until you can buy it, my dude.
What does it cost to rent it?
I could rent it out to you. I mean, if you just want to rent it, we could do a monthly thing, and I'd say $300 a month.
300 a month?
300 a
Did
month.
you just say that Lido's was only 25?
Oh, I can't discuss other paperworks with non-partners, but what you there are contingencies in place where if people fall on hard times and might not necessarily be able to pay what is owed, then they can work off the money. And if I'm not saying that Leto has fallen into that, but he has kind of fallen into like a gray area of, or maybe like a yellow area of not really being a top priority, but he has noticed that it has been a while since a payment has been made from Leto.
All I'm gonna say is to you is like, you want me to rent this place so I make some money, but if I spend too much on the rent, then I can't afford to like merchandise and hire and stuff. So, Deacon, what do you think is a fair price for this?
Well, to be completely honest with you, I think 300 is pretty fair. With my telepathic link, I'd like to ask you how many rupees you actually have.
I got about 700 now, I think.
Okay.
I can do this.
Hey,
man, what do you
I'd like to ask him, I'd like to ask him if there's any way I could get a slight discount if I take out a 6-month lease and we pay it all at once in advance.
So then he's sitting there and he's like, well, okay, so I said 300 a month for 6 months, 1,800 rupees, 15?
I'll look over at Puffin. I mean Stuffin. Sorry. And I'll ask, are you willing to put down 500? And I'll put down 1,000.
You want to go into business with me?
Are you okay with that?
About that?
Yeah, I mean you're a new friend. Okay. Then yeah, I will put down 1,000 rupees. And if you put down 500, and that way you don't have to worry about making payments. Call this, Deacon cheerfully says, call it, call this, good faith thing, shows that we're, I want to help you as you're a new friend, and I know you'll be helping us a lot in the future, too.
Oh, we got a deal? I'm going to extend my hand to shake it.
With him or me?
Oh, with him.
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
Okay, so Bradford extends his hand, a little bit like weary to do so, and when you grab his hand to shake his hand, his hand just feels cold and very limp. Like you feel that you might like break his hand if you squeeze it too hard on the shake. But yeah, it's a shaking Bradford's hand is a pretty gross experience.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Now, I just want you to know we're having our grand opening party tonight. So if you want to come on by in like 2 hours, you can see a shop open for the first time.
Well, I guess I don't got anything else to do.
Yeah, spread the word.
I'll tell everybody I'm friends with.
Oh. All right. Nice. Sorry, Fluffin, what were you saying?
Yeah, we should go do your thing now.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I will cheerfully walk in the over to Ken's, who I believe is actually literally next door.
Yep,
On the way here.
literally next door. By the way, as you're coming out of Bradford's office, you hear the unmistakable sound of armored footsteps coming down the hallway. As you exit the office, you can already see that the progression of soldiers have already started to exit the castle. So you're not sure like how many have come before you, like before you come into the office, but just like the clanking of full metal suits of armor, just like boom, 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 as just row after row after row of this regiment of fully equipped soldiers are making their way out of the castle.
Wow. I really feel like we should be helping them somehow.
You get the impression that that Kato is simply taking care of it.
Wow.
There are situations. I mean, there are like situations like if you run into a battle that's happening like on the, you know, like if you run into a battle that's happening in the field, like that's one thing, but this itself is like official Hylian military business.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is this town like automatically underprotected now that everyone's leaving?
Give
Something.
You know what? I will say that. Well, actually, okay. So, I'll word it this way: as you watch this progression, in one direction is the progression, in the other direction is the blacksmithing shop. How much attention do you want to pay to the progression?
Probably not as much as I should, because he's got his mind elsewhere.
Okay, so yeah. I mean, it would be a hard thing to tell given your current position, like being behind the castle wall. But if that's something like once you leave Ken and the blacksmith shop, it could be something that you could check on, and I could give you a better explanation of it.
That'd be cool.
Okay, so heading to Ken, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you walk into the into the blacksmith shop. It's not a shop. You walk in to see Ken, and immediately one thing that you notice is there is a chunk of weapons and armor missing. I'll call it a history check. Give me a history check.
Okay.
I like to do those weird kind of off the... Yeah, it is less than 50% of the armor missing, but it is still a massive amount of armor and weapons. I would say roughly a third of it missing. So like you last time you saw it, you kind of recall how much was there. And
yeah, there was like literally not enough room for him to lay down.
Yeah, and from that point, production had continued, and it is now about a third less than when you last saw it.
Damn.
Yeah.
I look in and I'm like visibly kind of stunned. I'm like, wow. They put you guys through the ringer. I do I see Ken and Gabe?
Yeah, Ken and Gabe are in there.
Just making sure. So yeah, I walk in and I'm immediately like visibly stunned that there's like space for me to even enter the room. Like, wow. I, for once, finally kind of understand why they did that to you guys. I say as I walk in. His gaze is almost preoccupied on the space at this point for a sec.
Yeah.
Before he turns to them, though he is clearly happy to see them still. But
Mm-hmm. So Gabe does look a little bit. Oh, sorry.
But he does smile as he does turn to face them. That's all. I was
Okay. So Gabe does look like he's a little bit worn out. Not to an unhealthy point or anything, but he's just covered in sweat and soot and just you know how hard he can pound that hammer, and he is not pounding that hammer that hard.
Yeah.
But when you look to Ken, he has this look of almost justification on his face that, in prior dealings, he may have felt a little bit guilty, or that he was working too hard, or he may have felt that, things that he was doing was unjustified for the effort that he was putting out. But when this chunk of armor goes missing that they need in the moment, that look has now changed to a look of justifiable satisfaction. And
definitely, Deacon's very smiling at them. He's just he's kind of in awe. He's like, wow, it's. Oh wait, sorry, I hear someone talking.
No,
sorry, I didn't mean to
sorry. I'm gonna mute myself.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. So I look at Ken and Gabe, and I'm Deacon's all smiles. And he's like, wow, it's honestly, it really makes me happy to see that they're putting your stuff to use. I would like to cheerfully address Gabe and just gotta be like, you guys should be really proud. I hope that you are. You guys have with his beaming smile, he's like, you guys have done at least as much for the kingdom as we have, and that's saying something. Be proud of your work, guys. I hope you are, at least. How have you been? I mean, no question you've been working hard, but how are you holding up? Are they at least treating you better now?
Yeah, we're feeling better now. Between the two of us, the workload is a lot more manageable. I am.
Do it, bro.
Thanks. I'm getting the impression that as intense as this is, that this may only be the tip of the iceberg. So this gives validation for the work that we're doing, and it is my understanding that there cannot be enough weapons and armor made. So we are just kind of going at a good, reasonable, healthy pace to knock out as much as we can.
Good to hear it.
Yeah, he goes, I feel better knowing that everyone that is going off into battle right now is going to come back. They're going in. Sorry, they're going in well prepared, and they're going to come home safe and just as good as when they left.
I chime in to remind them, your work is literally what stands between them and certain death. There is no barrier between them and things that would harm them.
We are the barrier.
Exactly.
By the way, Gabe says
job,
that,
guys.
by the way.
I'm really glad it's going well.
Hell yeah. That's Gabe.
He grins. Nice. I'd like to clean up his face a bit, sweat and soot. I'll just prestidigitate it, clean him up a bit. It just feels better to be clean sometimes.
I'm kind of imagining that Gabe looks like Zoolander in the mining scene, where he just has the black soot over his face.
On me.
Oh,
exactly.
I'm sure one of the party will gif it in Cataclysm chat, and if not, I'll do it later.
Fair.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's what brings you by?
Honestly, I just wanted to make sure you guys were doing okay. It's been a while. I mean, obviously, I got the chance to talk to you guys recently about the Silver Lionel business, but Yeah, I mean, Gabe, I haven't seen you in ages. I just wanted to make sure you're doing okay. Not to mention, congratulate you on the work. I wanted to, check your progress, see how much you're living up to Pops.
I was like, oh, geez, thanks. I'm learning a lot here. They say that repetition is the best way to learn sometimes, and that
It really is.
that's what I'm doing. I'm just making it.
Yeah. You know what they
It,
say? 10,000 hours and you've mastered anything.
I feel like I might be approaching that.
Hell yeah.
And but yeah, this is honestly, like, for one, it's a lot different than just making like one special suit of armor at a time, and two,
Absolutely.
it's really interesting to see, after all these years, what my dad really does for a living around here.
For sure. And yeah, plus again, you're helping out in your own way. It's good all around. I'm really glad. I have like a like a mischievous expression as I kind of like point at him secretively, point at Ken secretively, like conspiratorially, and I'm like, soon you're gonna be even better. So I teasing him a little bit, like it's about time, you soon. I don't know about this. Sorry, soon you'll be a master. Soon you'll be the best, just like he's been training you for.
all in good time, I guess. I mean, I as much as I thank you, Lita.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, and he's like, and give me an insight check.
Okay.
As you're talking to Gabe.
Oh, I wanted to know what this was.
Are you happy with the 6?
No. I'm happier with the 15. Okay.
All right. So 15.
Give me a sec.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you sense some nervousness in Gabe. And with a 16, you're able to put enough together to realize that given the amount of soldiers that have gone off into battle, and we have not seen that magnitude of soldiers, and you realize that Gabe is concerned that... Sorry for that.
Sorry, I was giving you the tokens because I haven't given you those single blues.
What's that?
Oh, I was. I thought you were commenting on the messages. I was sending you tokens.
Oh no, I just said something real quick by accident. Actually, I dropped my rupee on my mouse.
Okay, sorry.
So you notice that there is an air of concern around Gabe, and you are able to piece together the realization that if in his mind, if he was not here in the armory making weapons, that there is a potential possibility that he would have been in that formation heading out. So he's like he's being
sorry,
very...
You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that better?
I think so.
Okay. Where did you hear it last?
There's a possibility in his mind he was in that formation if he wasn't doing this.
Yeah. So
I think I got the gist of it.
Okay, so yeah, in one respect, he is very happy that he's learning a skill. He is very happy that he is getting to work with his father. in this way for the first time ever. But what he is not letting on is he is also happy that he is essentially not being put in a position to find himself on the battlefield.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. I would like to you know, how do I word this? I like to do my best to kind of like, you know, walk up to him and like I basically like, you know, I'll take out like a and obviously I'm using prestidigitation. I'm gonna pretend that I'm like cleaning up his face a bit for him. And you know, like all that stuff. I'm gonna say, I'm going to just be like, you know, it really isn't anyone, just anyone who could step up to the plate like you have, Gabe. I mean, you know, you started off and you know, you were making full plate one at a time, but it's something completely different to be making it full scale and to be competing with the pace that your father managed to put it out at such a young age. You're practically a prodigy, and I want you to remember that. You should be proud of what you've been doing. You know, like, again, you know, you're saving lives out there, whether you realize it or not. Like, you know, don't ever fret and don't ever worry. You know, you're doing your duty, your service to not just the kingdom, but every individual who lives in it. You know, it's all well and good to, you know, be an adventurer who's out there running around and fighting stuff, but really, I mean, just like abs are made in the kitchen, adventurers are built in places like this. Do you think, you know, without your father, I mean, I would still be traipsing around in hard, loud, clanking metal? He smiles, you know, and like kind of like wraps the suit of armor real quick.
Mhm.
You know, and yeah, he's like, I'm just trying to give him like a reassuring talk that he's like still doing his part and that, you know, he kind of deserves to not have to be on the battlefield, if you know, just kind of trying to reassure him like that.
And he gives a reassuring nod, you know, indicating that yes, he does like feel a little better on that, but there is concern, like there is just
Definitely.
a certain degree of like unshakable concern.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
All part of the military lifestyle. But yeah. Yeah. Let me check my inventory real quick. So while I do that, I just as like one last question. I asked him what kind of stuff he's been what kind of stuff they've been making lately. Like what's the standard suit that they've been making for people?
They have been making like just really standard suits of armor that are like full plate. They are
Cool.
there is kind of like ornate decoration on them that you would recognize as being like a Hylian armor, but given the fact that they have to produce these so quick, that there is a lesser degree of craftsmanship, that they are not the Hylian armor that gives the effect. It is simply full
Gotcha.
plate mail with Hylian decoration on it.
Okay. Nice. Let's see. Yeah. I was okay. I also wanted to ask. Let's see. So, never mind. Sorry. Sorry. If I'm going to elucidate what I'm thinking, so there's not dead air. Sorry about that. So my thoughts are thus that well, I feel a slight pang of guilt for this. I'm like, I know that it's. I'm gonna look at I'm going to try and look at Ken. I'm gonna say, sorry. I know you're never supposed to ask a man his salary, but I have to know. Are they at least paying you handsomely for all of this hard work? Because if not, I'm gonna have to have some very harsh words with Kato.
So yes, I not to divulge a specific number, but I am receiving my wage plus an extra wage for extra hours worked, plus a
Perfect.
bonus for armors and weapons completed.
Nice. Okay, good to hear it.
Zelda has spared no expense in this production.
Good to hear it. I wanted to ask, and I feel bad for doing this, but could I potentially take out a small loan from you, Ken? I will. I want. How do I put this? I will pay you back as soon as possible. And you are welcome to say no. This is not. I'm not trying to pull anything. Like I just, if you're busy with it, that's fine. But I was thinking, I wanted to, Lito's had a hard time, and I wanted to get him something. But I don't have a lot of scratch left. Because I just helped someone else out with something, and I don't know. Maybe it's kind of weird that I did that, and then I asked you for money, but still. I just wanted to, I figure it's worth a shot. Would you be okay with that?
Ken puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, Deacon, my friend, my business partner, just say the number.
Thank you. Can I whisper it to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Is it going to come through in Discord? Okay.
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Okay. So he looks. He tells you the number. Or you tell him the number. Does not flinch, and he says, "I will have it for you by tomorrow."
Thanks, Ken. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. So, you know what? At this point, anything else before turning in? As we're going to
Honestly, that's
okay. Because we're going to turn in early, which also means we're going to wake up early.
Right. The last thing I want to do is I want to ask them if they've had any kinds of injuries or anything like that on the job. And just offer them some minor healing spells if they've cut off a fingertip or something. We'll get that back to you. You know what I mean?
No, they're all okay. There's been no sustained damage from doing it.
Deacon does breathe a sigh of visible relief.
Fair. But yeah, okay. So yeah, he just says he says just come by the shop tomorrow, and I'll take care of you.
Thanks so much, Ken. Seriously.
So
hey, and then I go in for I go in. All right. So after tomorrow, we're going to be going on some adventures. I think we were leaning towards potentially Rito Village or something. So I might not be seeing you guys for a little while. So I reach out my arms for a group hug.
They each give you their own hug.
Nice. I agree. It's so good to see you guys again. It's always the highlight of my day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I wish you all the best.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. All right. That's everything I wanted to do.
Okay. Stuffin, anything else before heading back to Cito's?
Yeah, I do. I'm aware some folks have been really patient, so I want to either make this super quick or even do it off air, whatever's easiest. 'Cause, we've had people that have been waiting for a while to solve the action.
Sorry.
Splitting the party is difficult.
You're good. Do what you need to do.
I know.
Do what you need to do.
So, if we could do this quickly,
yeah.
This is what Stuffin wants to do. Stuffin wants to go to the tavern, order a bunch of food for his grand opening of the shop.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to have it delivered to the shop in about 2 hours, and just invite everyone he can find to join for the grand opening.
Okay.
He wants to take some paint or something and write, Stuffin's Jewelers or something over the old sign. Like he's not even repainting it; he's just crossing it off or something.
Okay.
And he wants to have a party.
Okay. So for the incoming rest, between the getting the shop up and running and a lot of and the food production and everything, can we extend it further than a 2-hour window? Actually, so do you want this to be like a grand opening?
Yeah, but it's it's a cheap grand opening with drinks and appetizers.
Okay. So
he's not a businessman. He just wants to get to know people.
Can we and I'm kind of saying this both in and out of character, as the shopkeep as the from the inn, they are suggesting that it be a lunchtime opening the following
we
day.
can do it at dinner.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, so you'd be okay pushing it to taking a rest and then doing a dinner opening.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Sounds good. All right. So
he'll prestidigitate the shop a little too to tidy it up.
Okay. So all right. So I'm going to kind of fast forward that a bit and say that that you're spending since you don't need to go down as early as when everyone else has gone down at this point. It'll worth you some time.
He wants to make sure everyone else comes too, so maybe waiting is better. He wants to invite everyone else.
True.
Okay, so you made the plans and then you're going to turn down for the night.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, sounds.
Sorry. Do you tell Deacon that you're doing this, and that you want to meet people and stuff?
Yeah.
Can I have one extra hour? Oh, sorry, Stuffin, what were you saying?
Oh yeah, and he's gonna tell you to spread the word too.
Okay. Can I have one extra hour, or is that pushing it too much?
What's on your mind?
I just want to go to the inn and march around the castle town, just holding it a sign and just playing music to get people's attention, at the sign, kind of like an advertisement jingle.
Can we do this in the morning?
I guess so, yeah.
As if to say grand opening today.
Oh yeah, okay, that's smarter. Yeah, okay, we'll do it then.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. So you guys head back to Cito's. You can see the rest of the party is just knocked out cold, enjoying their long rest, and you guys turn in for the night too.
Okay. One last thing. Sorry. I'm really sorry.
I've never tried so hard to force a party to take a long rest in my life.
No, I know. But the thing is, I want Stuffin to like. I ask him, hey, so since we're gonna be business partners, can I use some of the business that I've helped you with to perhaps ask you to make your first piece a commission for me?
Oh yeah, I'd love to.
Nice. Thanks.
I gotta
really
warn you, like, when I was small, I used to only make really, really tiny pieces of jewelry. So
Okay.
Now I get to make bigger pieces.
Hell yeah.
Just hope I get the size right.
Okay. So okay. Yeah. All right. That works.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. So
can I PM to you the? I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah, we could go on with the long rest. Sorry, I'm just gonna open up a little message for the sidebar first.
Okay. So let me check something real quick. All right. So everyone is in their long rest. Gully, give me a D4.
Don't know if that was so deliberate, but there you go.
Okay. All right. So as you are resting, you feel something reaching, like not physically reaching out to you, but more like you would immediately recognize that this is the communication sage ability that Zelda has shown you. And something is reaching out to you, but it cannot fully reach out to you without your concession.
Knowing if all these other sages are corrupt, would I let this one communicate with me while I am sleeping? Yeah, we'll gamble. We'll go for it.
I love the randomness of rolls. Okay. So, while in dreaming, you find yourself back in the seclusion of the Sage Arena. Standing atop your medallion, I'm going to have to upload something for this, but to put it in like on a clock face, like your medallion is at like a 4-5 o'clock position, and directly across from you in like the 10-11 o'clock position is a purple medallion, and the figure slowly begins to take shape, and you see it, and it sees you, and it is a black silhouetted shark type Zora. And at first it doesn't say anything, it just kind of looks you up and down. And then it lets out a very deep and rough chuckle and says to you, if I knew that someone as puny as you was in charge of the fire temple, I wouldn't have wasted my time with Bongo Bongo. Do you have a retort?
Well,
Do
yeah.
puny.
Tell you what. Why don't you tell me where you are and I'll come show you just how puny I am.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. You and your tiny friends can come and get me.
Oh, look at it. I mean, we should then. I tell what platform he on.
Hold on, the microphone's messing up again. What was that?
Is he on a platform at this point? Can I tell if he's standing on like a Civic Sage platform, or is this just like a mental connection? We're not actually in the stage chamber.
It is the medallion platform that he's standing on is purple, and I would say that it is a common enough historic thing that that is the Shadow Temple.
That's what I expected. Tell you what, how can I get to your temple? Since you see, how can we get to your temple? We'll come right away.
He goes, I will leave the door open for you.
Be seeing you.
See you soon.
If I feel like I know what to, I will immediately put the connection right after seeing that.
All right, that is well within your knowledge at this point. You completely sever the connection, and so that would be like the entirety of your long rest. And you being, I would say, probably the second one awake. So to figure out what is going on with you, let us circle back to Lido.
Sure.
Lido, tell us about
Yes.
what is going on. In fact, tell us a dream. You know what? Usually I construct these dreams. I want to.
Oh no, I got this one.
All right.
I got this one for you. So it's not a dream.
Mhm.
It's actually a nightmare.
Okay.
It is walking into the water temple with his friends, and then it goes black. And then there's the laugh of something very wicked. And then he's in the room with the sister by himself. Possessed version. he doesn't turn around to him. He's just speaking something that he can just not barely hear.
Mm-hmm.
As he walks closer, and he turns around, and there is his sister and the corruption separated. But the corruption's basically got a hand out on his sister's neck, squeezing. Leto goes into a running dive to try and get the corruption away from her. It does pop the corruption into a black mist as his sister falls down unconscious, dead, he's not sure, but it laughs at him and reforms in another part of the room. Leto goes to take out his weapons and realizes he's unarmed. He's not able to do what he needs to do, like he's sapped. But he still goes after this thing, and it starts to run. Leto, in a split second, decides to go after his sister before going after that, and he checks Rudo. And it's the Rudo that he knows, the one that is not living, and she's cold. And he tries to wake her up, and nothing. And he holds her close, like maybe the warmth of his body, but realizes he's cold too. He slowly puts her down and runs out of the room thinking he can still catch the corruption. He goes and jumps down thinking maybe he'll be able to catch it. And it's standing there at the bottom just waiting for him with this nice little snarly face. And Leto's just diving for him, and it goes again, and it runs away from him, and he keeps trying to get it, and every single time he's got like a hand almost on it, it just poofs away. After enough time, Leto is just left sitting there, enraged that he can't do something like this. Such a simple thing as to take care of this corruption that hurt his sister. And then he hears a voice. He hears Lynette basically telling him it's okay. It's okay. And Leto turns around, and the voice of Lynette is not Lynette. And he just stares at the nothingness there. He's got nothing. He couldn't save his sister. He couldn't stop the corruption. And he sits there and he just weeps. And that's basically what he does for his 8 hours. It's just a never-ending torment in his head that's going on.
Wow.
So I hope that works.
It does. In fact, I only have one question. Given like the context and the parameters that you have explained it, and the way that we just love to fuck around with time in this campaign, being like I would say like you went down for a little bit more than 8 hours. So let's say like between 10 and 11 hours was the length of your long rest. How long does this feel like to Leto?
It feels like days at first, then weeks, and years. It seems like it's not going to stop. It just continues. And he hears the voice, and just it continues. And I know at one point in time, his wild shape will turn him back into Leto, and that Leto will probably just slink back into the water even further, so he's underneath the water, so no sound, no nothing can penetrate it, just so that way he can try and get that last little bit of rest. And it's just eluding him.
So you know what? I'm going to actually rephrase this. So Leto, you will not be the first to wake up. Gully, you will be the first to wake up.
Nope.
And you are awoken by the sound of Chloe trying to wake Leto up.
Oh, which way did he go, George? Which way did he go?
As you make your way to have a visual of the situation, prior to seeing it, you can hear the splashing coming from Leto's resting pond, and you can hear Chloe verbally trying to wake him up. And as you finally get a visual in the situation, you realize that Chloe is not touching Leto at all. There is simply Leto is kind of writhing in his sleep, clearly agitated by something, and Chloe can't wake him up. So before I ask you what you want to do, I want to show you and everyone what we saw, who we saw in your dreams. Let me try to get him. Oh wait, I gotta.
Fiend's dad, probably.
I gotta bring it over like this.
Fiend's dad is
Nice.
Wait, did it come up? Yeah, let me.
Well, when you hovered over,
a few seconds.
Oh,
it was there. Yeah, and then disappeared. But he looked super cool.
all right, there we go.
Super bad.
Oh.
He's who I think he is.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
And although she is not here, which is very unfortunate that, but again, like a roll is a roll, and that we cannot change. But yes, that is Afine's biological father, and he is without a doubt now, although it has been heavily alluded to, he is the Shadow Temple Sage. He is the person who banished Bongo Bongo from the Shadow Temple in a most violent fashion.
At least you let Bongo Bongo live.
I think that's more circumstantial.
Yeah. Just a bit.
So, yes. Welcome to the Shadow Temple. When we get to it. But yeah, that was the visual of the sage from your slumber. So okay, so you wake up and you see the scene as I have described it before you. What do you do?
Well. Geez, what do I want to do? Well, I'm trying to think. What kind of funky, weird, cool sage thing could I do right now to help out my buddy? Yeah, I got nothing. Boy, what's going on there? He's not waking up, huh?
Chloe just turns to you in a panic, says, "He won't wake up. He won't wake up."
Well, I mean, this probably won't help like I want to, but let me try and throw a sage bless on him, and I'll use my bless or bane feature and bless Leto. And again, I know this really isn't going to help him, but this is my attempt to use my sageness to try and help him. So I'm gonna do my bless or bane feature, and I'm specifically going to well, actually, he gets the benefits, of the bless feature of this, but I'm just trying to bestow a sage blessing on him to help him make him feel more at ease and come out of his long rest, out of his stupor.
Okay, so having the ability posted in chat, Leto, does this wake you up?
Probably not. Yeah, I don't think any of these would actually mechanically help him. It's just more thematic.
I mean, so honestly, right now,
I think it wakes him up.
Okay, so you bless her bane, you bless him, and now with more panic in her voice, Chloe says, "It's not working. It's not helping. Do something, please."
So, Gully will attempt to pick him up and shake him awake.
All right, we're shaking the baby. All right.
Wake up! Wake up! Don't make me start slapping you, Leto. Wake up!
On a scale of 1 to a Gully 10, how vigorously are you shaking him?
He's at about a 4 right now.
About 4, okay. Leto, anything?
Can I just issue a recommendation, right? Like, number 1 recommendation: don't shake your baby, right? Sounds fun in practice. Don't shake your baby.
Don't shake the baby.
But number 2 is, in practice, you don't shake a baby when it's sleeping. Like, that's what you want. You shake the baby when it's not sleeping and it's the middle of the night.
Yeah, don't shake the baby. We need a disclaimer in chat for baby shaking.
Was he still just sleeping calmly, or was he making some noise or something? Why are you trying to wake him up?
He was calm. He was fine, and all of a sudden he just started shaking, and so what you're noticing is as not only is he shaking, but the water that is splashing around in the sleeping pool is, there's also something else there, and I mean, I'm not even going to have you make the Arcana check on this, but I will say, you can't tell if, it's definitely, there's more than just physical splashing going on, but you don't right out of the gate, you can't tell if it is from an external source, if it is from his personal power kind of losing control in the moment, or if he is seeing that he has switched in the past. There is a possibility that he might be fighting a switch. We might be seeing another Leto trying to fight its way out. Being all of those things, I'm going to let you know this is an incredibly high Arcana check. You can make it if you want, or you can just continue reacting to the situation.
You know what? I will attempt that Arcana check, even though I know I have no way of possibly passing it.
Okay. Okay, I will let you know that that is not even halfway there.
I figured.
So, but I will say that given the intensity of the splashing and the screaming and the shaking and everything, we are going to try one more action before the ruckus awakes Stuffin and Deacon. So right now we still have, and by the way, I do feel the need to point out that still in the corner, Isaac is at the table working at his potions, seems completely unbothered, possibly unaware of anything that is going on.
Of course.
So,
Isaac, of course it is.
yes. So, quick question, Lito, does the rating 4 of shaking, does that wake you?
No.
Okay. So, can you think of another action before Deacon and Stuffin are awoken by what's going on?
Oh yeah, his next action would be yelling for Deacon and Stefan to wake up.
All right, so that is what, in addition, what wakes up Deacon and Stuffin is just now the whole place seems to be erupting. By the way, the business isn't open. There's no customers or anything that's seeing. It's still relatively early as we have started our long rest relatively early. So Deacon and Stuffin, you are awoken by the sound of Gully's booming voice calling to you, and as you are awoken by this, you can just the overall sense of panic and possible dread is like filling this is filling Cedos. You rush to the location and see Lito as I have been describing him. Can you guys think of anything to wake him up?
Deacon, what if we end up with another switch?
Oh god, I don't even want to imagine what that would do to this place.
I have shaped water. Like I could, I don't know, try a jet stream bubble bath, change the temperature, or something like that.
So, all right. I don't remember where I got these. I think it was during the winter games. I have party poppers. So if you could hold him still, I could just let loose like 6 party poppers like right next to his ears at once.
Okay, so we have Deacon setting off party poppers, because so this is the last thing we saw Gully doing was shaking Lito. So I'll say like he still has a grip on Lito, and Deacon is shooting off some party poppers.
Oh, it's going off right next to his ears.
Well, sounds,
well, not like gunshots, but you know,
basically,
like just pops.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And we have Stuffin trying to do every possible thing he can do with the water. He's trying to make it cool. He's trying to make it relaxing. He's maybe trying to make some non-damaging impacts with the water, like anything that he could possibly do. This is now counting the screaming of Chloe, this is now a 4-person effort to try to wake Lito up. Lito, does this wake you up?
I'll put it this way. In Lito's dream, the horror has grabbed him at this point in time. And it's trying to pull him in, and he's doing everything he can to stop it. So,
actually,
I'm
half-hearted attempt to try and wake up.
Mm-hmm. So I am going to point out. I'm going to point out some possible similarities that are going on, where you are saying that you feel grasped, and at the same time, Gully is grasping you. You have described that the water is having an effect on you, and at the same time, we have Stuffin casting water spells on you. From an outside person, so I'm not saying what is going on, but I am saying that there are two possible things that could be going on where the external stimuli could possibly be driving the dream, or it could merely be coincidental. But either way, like, your brain is taking both of these things in, and Leto, your brain is dealing with this situation as much as possible. There is screaming going on. There is, we have Chloe screaming for you,
Yeah.
which could also possibly be taken, Chloe being a female voice calling out to you. There's a lot of similarities going on in your dream as well as in the real world. So I'm not saying that there is anything like that going on. I'm pointing out the mere possibility of it. But explain to me the next thing for Leto.
So what oh wait.
What's up?
I was just gonna say Deacon is going to I feel like he would kind of recognize that you're I feel like he'd be afraid you're gonna do the switch thing, so he'd probably be like trying to tell you that he'd probably like try to like silence Chloe so that he can like actually talk and tell you like, hey, listen, Rudo's fine, Rudo's okay, like they're apart now, like it's okay, she's breathing, she's walking, it's fine,
Deacon,
it's gonna
can
be
you
okay.
speak with him telepathically? Maybe that'll get through to him.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. I do that, and then I repeat what I just said, like, into his mind. Like, literally into his brain with my aberrant mind. Feet. Let me put what that is in chat.
Okay. So Leto, as you were having this dream, Deacon appears in your dream and says these things to you in an attempt to try to break you free of this nightmare. You know what? I feel like there could be a save here. What would be a good ability check on this? Would it be Arcana? Would there be a better check for Leto than Arcana at this point to tell if this is real?
I would do this.
Ooh, possibly insight or perception.
I like insight.
You know what? Okay, so I'm going to give Leto this choice. You can make Arcana perception or an investigation to determine whether or not you believe that Deacon's real, but given the sheer panic of this situation, you are to make your choice of ability checks at disadvantage. And I'll put the DC at 12.
And I'm definitely going to pass it. Because every one of those is a +11.
Nice.
Okay, so
you'll love to see it.
So Deacon reaches through to you in this nightmare, and so look at that, a fucking 19 and 20. Jesus Christ. If I could ever roll that good at disadvantage. But so Deacon materializes in your dream, and he's trying to like verbally get through to you to break you free from this dream, and you can tell that this is really Deacon, that there is something going on, and that he is trying to break free. Is there a word limit on this?
Can I just be like, it's me, it's Deacon, your friend. You're not alone here, Leto. You're never alone. Not again. Not ever again. Snap out of it, man. You can do this. She's...
Just as he was going to say, probably okay.
Oh, sorry. I think my headset cut out for a second there. Did I miss something?
You said,
yeah, everything you said.
and then that was it.
Whoops, that's ironic. I was trying to say, she's okay. You succeeded.
Okay.
So Leto is still freaking out in his head. He knows it, but there's something that's keeping him from waking up. He is just on that verge of like, no, she's not okay. You know she's not okay. You're here, but she's not okay.
So you have reached through Toledo. You have said what you know you said, and you know what? Being that you have been to some capacity in his mind right now.
Can he see everything that I'm seeing?
I just feel like those. I wasn't trying to metagame. I just feel like there's one thing he has cared about for the past 10 sessions, so I felt like that was just appropriate.
Yeah. So I would say like he doesn't have like a visual, but he does have the ability to kind of like feel what you are feeling in the moment. Like the moment he makes that telepathic connection, the panic and everything that you are feeling, he's able to not fully comprehend, but understand that you are in like this mental whirlwind right now. So, like, what he is saying is trying to, like, I mean, being that Deacon, like, you and Deacon have been through so much, he does kind of know the buttons to press to kind of shake you out of things. You know, sometimes he knows because he was successful in doing it, and sometimes he knows because he was unsuccessful in doing it. But regardless, like, that is part of the bond that you two share. So when he made that telepathic link, he was able to realize that, you know, you are in that whirlwind state.
I think half awake. Like one eye will like open and roll back into his head. Leto doesn't want to be in this anymore. So he's going to do the only thing he can come up with. He's got to shock himself out of it. So you'll just see automatically his right arm come up, slap across his chest, and he's going to shock and grasp himself.
I love it. All right.
Nice.
So
I have to roll the hit.
Yes.
I feel like you rolled a hit like me and Chloe at this point.
You okay?
It does hit me.
Gully, does a 26 hit?
Yeah.
As he has shock and grasp himself, but you are physically connected to him. I will say that you take a lesser amount. You only take 9 points of that 18 points of damage, but yes, you are like connected to him as he electrocutes himself, in an attempt to kind of like shock himself awake.
Well, I know you said half of that, but seeing as how I'm holding him and we're in water, does that actually enhance it instead of?
You're wearing what kind of armor are you wearing?
Of course, it's got metal in it.
And actually,
oh, sorry.
if we're trying to shock you, it would be
But you're trying to shock yourself, not me.
No, I'm trying to shock myself. So I don't think you would have it drop any lower than probably the 18. Roll
Yeah.
it 2 more times.
And you're not technically in the pool, so
Oh, okay. Okay, well, never mind then.
Yeah.
So I will just take the 9 points of damage.
All right. Does this shock you out of it, Leto? And if not,
Thank you
then
for
to
I
what
hope
shocking
extent?
so.
me out of it. Like give me heart palpitations.
Clear. So, so the senses of the external world start to return to you. You can feel the water in the pond splashing over your skin. You can smell the familiar aromas of the various reagents of your shop. You
And there's the pleasing smell of cooked fish in the air. Oh, that's good.
you can hear the familiar voices of friends starting to relax as you come to. Did I forget any senses?
Nope.
Got them all. Yeah. And at this point, the first person asleep is the last person awake. So, a certain degree of relief starts to wash over everybody as Leto comes back to consciousness as Leto.
Oh.
Yeah.
That looked like it hurt. Sorry, buddy.
Oh.
Put
Me down.
How much HP is he missing?
18.
Okay.
We're not going to be fighting anything today. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Gully, can you put me down?
Yeah, you are definitely down.
Okay. I just look down at my chest and go, I still am steaming. I know it works. Ow.
I gently rub your shoulder as if that helps somehow. It doesn't.
It's fine. He'll probably sit down with his legs in the pool again, just sitting on the side, rubbing his chest.
I will cool the area with prestidigitation because it heals faster if you cool down a wound quickly after the burn.
Thank you.
We're kind of like putting an ice pack on it, you know?
Yeah. That sucked.
So,
That looked unpleasant, man.
Chloe runs up to you, Leto, and throws her arms around you, and then pulls away and slaps you across the face. Says,
I kind of earned that.
"Don't you ever scare me like that again."
You know, I'm your boss, and that was uncalled for, but called for. So, you should take the rest of the day and think about what you just did, and I'll take the rest of the day and think about what I just did, and then we'll meet together and have a brainstorming session later.
She walks up to the door and flips the sign to open, and realizes that she meant to keep it unclosed, so she flips it again to closed, and she's like, "I think that's a good idea," and storms off, not storming, but vacates Cedos and visibly heads to the inn.
Does the only thing he can do. He looks at his group of, traveling companions. He goes, "Am I a bad boss?"
No, I think that was a good call. I think she's just worried about you, buddy. But that makes all of us.
Thank you.
Of course, buddy.
So,
now,
again.
Yeah. You sure you don't want me to heal that?
No, I need to remember it. You know.
Fair point. Fair point.
So, I'm awake. What's going on?
Well, everybody took naps.
That means we have everything we need to take my sister and put her at my old house, right?
Shit, we didn't do that already? Fuck.
No, she's still with Flora.
Shit, I thought that was... for some reason I thought we did that first. Fuck. Okay.
We
No,
ran
yep,
from
we were
Flora.
gonna... Yup,
Ambush.
yeah, we were gonna... Yeah. Okay, fuck. Alright, yeah.
Alright, so
Oh.
now that we have thoroughly expressed ourselves so eloquently,
Do that, like, real quick, like, now.
alright,
Okay.
who's teleporting?
Like, Rudo has just been, like, an awkward... So I'll teleport us to Kakariko, and then you can tree us to your... And then I'll
Homestead.
teleport us back... Yeah, and then I'll teleport us back to Hyrule Castletown. Does that sound good?
I can travel via plants twice, so that way you can keep your
I'd appreciate that.
place.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I will get us to Kakariko.
Before I go, I'm gonna give Puff Stuffany a queried look. He doesn't know about Rudo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, son of a biscuit. I meant to sleep in the temple. Oh well.
There's a lot of name Stuffin's been hearing he doesn't know. So I don't want to say he's been ignoring it, but it's just kind of confusing to him. And he just shrugs.
Okay, let me put it this way, new guy. My sister's in a lot of trouble. I'm going to take her someplace safe. If you tell anybody, you know what I just did to myself, I'm going to do that to you, but much worse.
And I will help.
I won't tell anyone. I don't know anyone to tell.
Also, no words
Appreciate it.
about what
Thank you.
she looks like.
Yeah, we're kind of on a stealth mission. It's a long story. You'll get acclimated eventually. But yeah, we need to keep her on the down low.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
I'm going to
Appreciate it, bro.
climb out of the pond real quick, walk over to Isaac, and just give him like the hands on the hips going, you could have helped.
And he kind of like stops working on what
Don't give me the, you're not paid enough for this.
He puts down the stuff he's working on, and he removes his bifocals very calmly and looks up at you, kind of like head tilted a little bit, and he's like, "What can I help you with?"
If you weren't such a good alchemist,
Royal.
you know what, just keep doing your thing and watch over Chloe. She's upset now. And I did it, and now I have to leave, do some stuff, and if she comes back, it's on you.
She's a girl. When isn't she upset?
Oh, don't even
Wow.
play that game.
That's
Lucky Fiend's not here.
that's why I
Fiend is
like my
here. She would slap you.
potions.
Actually, you know what? If you're not careful, I'm going to transfer you to a new position at Goron Village, and you can help with their alchemists, and I'll get their alchemists to come help me here. Hope you like hot weather.
Um,
And I haven't even set up that shop yet, so you would just be in some kind of like hut.
Goron Village has an alchemist.
Yes, I would take him and bring him here and his husband, and they would live the life of luxury where you would be in a hut doing little working, and to watch yourself.
But
I know you're older than me, but still, watch yourself.
who is the person right now who is physically closest to Leto?
Probably me.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, well, you were shaking him, so it's probably still you.
Well, I was gonna say probably Gully or Chloe, but if Deacon came
Chloe's
over, then
gone.
Deacon.
Well, Chloe has
Chloe's
left.
gone.
You know what?
Chloe
Everybody
being
else give
gone
me a
was the only reason
d20.
I say it's probably me.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Sorry, Chloe.
give me a
No, in that
d20.
case, then, yeah. It's all you. It's all you, Deacon.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
You're good.
Okay,
You know what? You said get everybody. I got it.
Everybody.
Fuck it.
okay.
I'm closest to myself.
So he kind of looks at Deacon with like a very puzzling look. Like he doesn't know where all of this is coming from.
Can I establish a telepathic link with him? Wow, I'm getting some mileage out of this ability. I wasn't sure that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he had a really bad night, and he's just kind of blowing off steam. Sorry, buddy. He doesn't mean anything. Well, he probably means it, but he's not gonna do anything about it.
And then Isaac replies, he goes, well, I'm sure he would have had an easier night if he had slept in his pond. Completely unaware that he was even there. So,
Amazing. Love Isaac.
all right. So, all right. Teleportations.
Okay. Kakariko.
All right. Boom. We poured over to Kakariko Village. We're going to
Right. I go to Guru's house where Imatu and Rudo are once again stuck with each other.
No, Rudo was with Flora.
Oh, I mean, does she want to sleep there? Oh, I guess she doesn't sleep, so it's not really a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, fair point.
There have been,
Okay.
taking it back, like the Deku
She's
tree.
just kind of sitting there.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, what has she been doing for the past, 48 hours while we've been out fucking around? Has she just been standing there doing nothing? Because Flora's kind of busy.
I mean, maybe, yeah. Like Flora is pretty indisposed at the moment, keeping
Yes, she
Bongo at bay. And you know what, Lita, what would your sister be doing for this period of time? I mean, I would imagine like she probably wouldn't leave the Deku tree. Like she wouldn't go like.
No.
So like, what would be her? Yeah.
Since she has nothing to do, she would probably be staring at Flora, watching her like struggling with this power, just going, like, yeah, I used to do that too, and then I died.
So she is
Just giving her,
viewing what
like,
Flora
a
is doing
terrible life
as.
story.
So she looks at Flora and imagines, like, she looks at what Flora is doing as almost like fruitless.
Yes.
Like, why waste your time? Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen anyway. You look tired.
Take a rest. The worst that could happen.
So, does Princess Rudo take some, because like understanding that these are two iconically powerful females in this campaign, is Rudo kind of being a dick to
No.
Flora?
Rudo is basically, she has now turned into her emo phase.
Uh-huh.
Like, everything is black and dark, and there's no light in the distance, and then she sees Flora, who is like the light in the distance, who's nice and cheery, and it's just that she just keeps picking at like the little bad things that Flora is ignoring, and it's just annoying her. But she's finding like that little bit of fun out of just poking her.
Give me a straight D20 on that. I want to see how this is affecting her.
That's
Okay.
a natural 1.
Probably for the best, honestly. Flora is so optimistic, even when faced with just being completely drained and giving everything she's got, she still just sees the bright side in the situation. She sees, the benefit of protecting her village and her people. And if anything, I would even say, given that it is a natural 1, she even has the capacity to feel empathy for what Rudo is going through and why she is feeling the way she's feeling and saying the things that she is saying. She is essentially emotionally tanking Princess Rudo's negativity.
Yeah.
Like a fucking boss. So you come into this
so much.
Oh, I love it. So this is what you come in, this is what you say, and go. Like, what do you do?
I run over and grab my sister and hug her that she's still okay.
All right. So, I would imagine she kind of had, the way you're describing it, she has almost the, like, can we go now mentality?
Oh yeah, she's my arms are around her, her arms are at her side, and she's just like, hey, get back, go.
Yeah, let's go. I've been waiting.
Yeah.
So,
And she does the fake, like, annoying blows a kiss to Flora, like, torture is over for now.
Yeah, you're stuck here and I'm leaving.
Yeah.
All right. And I would say, like, with that, Flora just, like, shoots her a wink, as if to say, I'm happy you're onto something better, but also I'm happy you're leaving. So yeah, like, with that, even with everything that's going on, even with the empathy and everything, she still has the energy for just that little bit of fucking sass. All right, Deacon, what were we about to say?
The Flora we love.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would like to I'd like to approach Flora and just offer her some of my Lostwood spring water.
All right, absolutely. How much?
Just like a full water skin of it.
Fair. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. That does help to re-energize her a little bit and help to keep her going. As you're holding the water skin, like, to her mouth so she can drink it, you do sense, despite the brave face, that there is still a growing sense of panic going on. And there's also a little bit of doubt.
I would like to reach out to put a hand on her shoulder. And I'm gonna do the telepathic link thing so she doesn't have to, like, admit to that in front of Rudo and let her win. And I'm gonna just say, hi, Flora. You can tell me what's wrong.
It's like, what? I need to protect the village, but why? I'm essentially imprisoning this poor creature, and I've been doing this for what feels like so long that have an understanding, maybe even some type of bond with it. And I'm getting the feeling that this is not a weird, monstrous, dangerous creature, but it is in its own prison, if that makes any sense.
Tiku nods slowly, and he says, "Flora, in many ways, you seem to be in your own prison here, and that's not something that we've forgotten. I'm sorry that we've left you here for so long. I know that part of it is we've been so distracted, but I would like to just glance at my companions for a second, just thoughtfully, and I'd like to turn back to her and just say, but know that in many ways he is a creature that is dangerous in a way that justifies what you're doing. You are protecting the village from something that would undoubtedly lash out in pain were it left to its own devices. But so what you're doing is valuable. You are saving lives here, but at the same time, it's understandable that you feel this way. I think the thing to remember is that this isn't a permanent sentence. I think in many ways it's just good to remember that it is simply waiting here for a time. It has a home, and you have a home. And we are going to make sure that we bring it back to where he belongs. I know that this must be an intimidating sort of thing to be doing this for so long, working so hard, but every single, peaceful, happy life in Kakariko owes you to thank for it. And that is something worth believing in, because everybody, myself included, has spent all this time believing in you, believing in who you are, who you have been, that he smiles, the bundle of sunshine that you always have been. We believe in you, and we know that you're always going to do what's best for us and for everyone. So I know that it's scary right now, but maybe that just means it's time for us to help you. Once we finish with Rudo, I'm going to ask my compatriots if they'd mind if we focused on getting Bongo out of here. I don't know what they'll say, but we'll try. I'll try. And then maybe you can finally get some well-deserved rest. And maybe just then, so can he.
She says, I'm fine. Help him.
She nods. He nods. Okay.
I mean, she's not fine. Like, that is abundantly clear, not even needing of a check, but she states that she is fine, and she wants you to help him.
I gently pat her shoulder, and I say, Flora, we do this not just for him, but for you. I will make sure this gets done as soon as possible.
I'll see you soon.
I'm gonna give her a hug if she'll let me.
I like she like
helped all of us.
Yeah, she I mean, she would let you either way, but she is not in any physical capacity to hug back. She is like she's like, like every time, like the whole time you see her, like she is like holding this spell. And I would even say, in fact, like since this has been going on for so long, I feel the need to explain like the progression of things that you have seen in change. Like when this first started happening, you see her as you're seeing her now on the screen, but as she has started to wear down, she has also found deeper ways to dig deeper in herself, and with that, like her legs have started to like sprout roots and dig into the Great Deku Tree. Her skin has started to become like, you know, gain like a texture of bark to the skin where it was kind of smoother before. And you are getting the impression that not only is she exhausting everything in herself to maintain the situation, but she is doing her best to tap into what is left of the Great Deku Tree to sustain it as well.
Okay.
And there's more to that, but that's all I'm going to tell you for now.
Fair. I'm going to turn towards my compatriots and ask if we could handle this tonight, if that's okay with you guys. Once we get Rudo back home.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay. Do you want to use your tree to get her there, or do you want me to teleport?
I'll tree us there.
Okay, appreciate it.
Okay. So you grab Rudo, you prepared the tree port. Any last actions or anything from anybody before going through the tree portal?
I'd like to turn to Flora, and just kind of be the last one to leave. Just be like, we're gonna take care of this tonight. Just stay strong, like you have. We will change something.
Like,
we will make this. Oh, sorry.
She lets out a tired laugh, like a forced tired laugh. Just, I'll be here.
Fair. Okay.
All right. Anybody else before jumping through the portal? Okay.
Nope.
So,
We'll set up a play date for you two later.
so you go through the portal, and Lido, describe what everyone is seeing as they come out the other side.
So, it's Lido's beach. The hut is still, as far as I know, intact. There might be no fish on the drying hooks because nobody lives there anymore. And it's just a seaside shanty, basically, where he grew up. Oh, and there's a glass sandcastle in the back.
Yes.
Oh,
All thanks
actually,
to Deku and
I actually carried the glass sandcastle with me. That's how I teleport here.
Oh.
Sorry.
You carried that whole thing?
I thought you took a little piece of it.
Oh, maybe that's true. I didn't realize.
Okay, so we have come to Lido's hidden getaway, where he was raised from a small little Zoran would-be prince to being raised on this private, secluded, peaceful beach.
And I will welcome everybody. Welcome back to the house, Rito. This is where you're going to be staying for a while until I figure out exactly how I can help you the best. Stuffin, this is my house. Feel free to look around. You break anything, you buy it. I will tell you, most things inside cost less than a rupee, so please don't break anything because I really can't make them again.
Okay.
If you want some fish, I can go in the ocean and get some fish real quick.
You got anything good to buy in there?
It's not really a shop. It's more like where me and my mentor lived, so kind of got, family heirloom type situation.
Oh, I thought you just said I could buy stuff. Okay, I won't
No,
buy.
if you break it, you buy it. And that's what I was telling you. Most of it's like a rupee if you break it. But still, it's got sentimental feelings and, memories.
Okay,
Try not to break anything.
unless I
Okay.
want to buy it also.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's plenty of seashells if you want to buy those.
Okay. So, we have come once again to Lito's private beach. And for at least a moment in time, the party can take a small rest. Rudo can find peace knowing that she's safe where she is. And
Oh, if for some reason another Zora comes up and looks like he's like, "What the heck are you doing here?" and then realizes who you are, that's Marty. He's cool. Protector of me. Probably will protect you if he comes back. But he's doing a walkabout right now, or swim about. Walkabout.
and
Swim and walking.
so on the plate we still have what is going on with Bongo Bongo. We now have a definitive answer as to who has expelled Bongo Bongo from the temple. We have the grand opening that we need to attend back in Hyrule Castletown. By the way, Stuffin, what is the name of your shop?
I think it's just Stuffin's Jewelers.
Okay.
Stuffin's Jewelry.
Stuffin's Jewelry is the name of the new jewelry shop in town. For those who know that Stuffin has taken over the building of the Royal Treasury that once was owned and operated by the infamous Reginald. And we haven't seen Reginald in quite some time. So when I was talking about
That's
the
kind of a good thing.
the previous owner disappeared. We will be happy to elaborate on that next week during our chat session, because this goes into the prologue that took place before the campaign, and this also comes into play with each pre-existing campaign that predates even the prologue. So Reginald is like an OG NPC. So now that we are inhabiting his former jewelry shop, I think it warrants revisiting some tales of good old Reggie. But you'll have to tune in next week for that. So, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. It has been a blast. And hopefully we'll see you next week. And if you are unable to make the chat session, it sucks. But you can catch us on our next campaign session in 2 weeks. So, until then, thank you again, everybody, and bye.
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 Bye-bye.